Bonjour, bonjour. The imperfect part 2 with regular nerdy ER verbs. The imperfect is one of the past tenses. In French, the imperfect is made up of two parts, the subject and the verb stem plus the endings AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AI, silent ENT. We use the nous stem from the present indicative. In English, the imperfect can be formed in several ways. There's the wasing and the were-ing, which is our spinning top symbol. I was visiting. You were visiting. So in English, we have three parts in that particular one. Je visitais, tu visitais, vous visitiez. Two parts in French. In English, we use the auxiliaries used to, or we could replace used to with would. Here's a little baby. When I were a lad, I used to. I would. We used to, or we would visit this church when we came here. Nous visitions cette église quand nous venions ici, or quand nous venions là. Or if you're going to use on visitait cette église quand on venait ici, ou quand on venait là. In English, you can also use the simple past when talking about habitual, continuous or repeated actions. They always visited the catacombs when they went to Paris. Il ou elle visitait toujours les catacombes quand il ou elle allait à Paris. We are looking at the regular nerdy ER verbs, and the majority of verbs, more than 90% of French verbs, are ER verbs, which is wonderful. The only truly irregular ER verb is aller. Let's look at visiter in different tenses. First of all, the present tense. All of these tenses are the indicative. We're not looking at the subjunctive or the imperative or the conditional. We are looking at the indicative. Mood. Present tense. Je visite. Tu visites. Il, elle, on visite. Nous visitons. Vous visitez. Il, elle, visite. So regular ER verbs, that is how we conjugate it in the present tense. In the imperfect tense, still in the indicative, we need the nous stem. Then we add on the endings. Je visitais. Tu visitais. Il, elle, on visitait. Nous visitions, vous visitiez, il, elle visitait. The first three and the last one, the il, elle, they conjugation, sound the same. Present perfect tense. Most verbs go with avoir as the auxiliary. J'ai visité, tu as visité, il, elle, on a visité. Nous avons visité, vous avez visité, ils, elles ont visité. Aller is the only truly irregular ER verb. Let's conjugate it in the present tense. Je vais, tu vas, il, elle, on va. Nous allons, vous allez, ils, elles vont. But for the imperfect tense, we still use the nous conjugation. J'allais, I used to go, I was going. Tu allais, il, elle, on allait. Nous allions, vous alliez, ils, elles allaient. First three and the last one sound the same. Aller. The present perfect tense. Around 15 verbs think they're a little bit special. We call them the VIP verbs because they think they're special. They're in a cliquey group that use être as their auxiliary verb. 15 out of all the hundreds of French verbs, it's not a very big group. Je suis allé. Tu es allé. Il, elle, on est allé. Nous sommes allés. Vous êtes allés. Ils, elles sont allés. And then, of course, we get the pronominal verbs. Pronominal verbs have to have a reflexive pronoun. That's why it's called pronominal. Most pronominal verbs are ER verbs, which is great. Let's conjugate se coucher in the present tense. Je me couche. Tu te couches. Il, elle, on se couche. Nous nous couchons. Vous vous couchez. Il, elle se couche. Imperfect tense, we take the nous stem. Je me couchais. Tu te couchais. Ils, elles, on se couchait. Nous nous couchions. Vous vous couchiez. Ils, elles se couchaient. The first three and the last one sound the same. Coucher. Present perfect tense. All pronominal verbs wanna-be VIP verbs. They are the wanna-be VIP verbs because just like the VIP verbs, they use the auxiliary verb être. But être says, well, to come in, you have to have a special invite. You need to place the reflexive pronoun before me. So you put the reflexive pronoun before the part of être. Je me suis couché. So me goes before the part of être, suis. Tu t'es couché. Il, elle, on s'est couché. Nous nous sommes couchés. Vous vous êtes couchés. Ils, elles se sont couchés. The present perfect tense is used for actions that are completed, perfected. We need three bits. We need the subject, the auxiliary verb, which will be most of the time avoir, but for the VIP verbs and the pronominal verbs, the auxiliary verb will be être, plus your past participle. The imperfect is used for actions that aren't necessarily finished, or when the endpoint isn't defined. It's usually irrelevant. The action isn't necessarily completed. It's imperfect. We have the meandering path. The imperfect often sets the scene, giving the background information. We have the theatre curtains there. We have the storybook. There are usually different actions running parallel to each other. The imperfect is the descriptive tense. Je regardais la télé quand tu m'as appelé. What does it mean? I was watching the TV when you called me. Okay, so we've got the background information plus the main action, which is in the perfect. You can have two lots of imperfect if both actions are continuous in the past. Je regardais la télé quand tu appelais ton père. I was watching the TV when you were calling your father. Two wasing and werings there. So let's practice some regular ER verbs that we will use in context afterwards. What does dépenser mean? To spend, as in to spend money or energy. Oublier. To forget. If you forget a noun, you don't need the word de afterwards. J'ai oublié mon portefeuille. But if you forget to do something, if you're following it with an action, you need the de in between. J'ai oublié de faire mes devoirs. I forgot to do my homework. Empêcher. Think of impeachment. It means to stop, prevent from doing something. Here we have the barrier with the pêche, the peach. Empêcher. Éviter. To avoid. Éviter. Fermer. To close, to shut. Gâter. Okay, think of parents giving too many gâteaux to their grandchildren. It means to spoil. Gâter. Oser. It's about the shortest ER verb you can get. Oser. Sounds a bit like Aussie. We have an Aussie kangaroo here who's like, come on, fight me if you dare, with his boxing gloves on. Oser, to dare. So your turn. How do you say to spend, as in to spend money or energy? Dépenser, to forget. Oublier, and if you follow it with a verb, oublier de. To prevent, stop from doing something. Got our peach here. Empêcher, empêcher de. To avoid. Éviter. To close, to shut. Fermer, fermer la bouche. To spoil, with lots of cakes. They're all ER verbs. Gâter, to dare. Put 'em up. If you dare. Oser. Casser, what does casser mean? It means to break, to smash, to damage. Accompagner or raccompagner. Yes, of course, to accompany. But the French use this a lot to say to give a lift, to go along for the ride with, to walk somebody home. Durer. Okay, the duration, to last, to go on. Fréquenter. To frequent. The French use this a lot also to say to go somewhere regularly, to hang out with. It also means to date. Passer. So it can mean to pass, literally to pass, but it means to spend this time, to spend time, not money or energy. It can mean to call in, I'll pass and see you. It can mean to go through, like to pass through a town. S'écrouler. This might be a new one. It's pronominal. S'écrouler. Crou, crou, crou. It means to collapse, to crumble. S'écrouler, s'écrouler. Creuser. Creuser. When you say j'ai un petit creux, I have a little hollow. Creuser means to dig. Compter. Remember, you cannot hear the M or the P. Compter, to count. À vous, your turn. To break, to smash, to damage. Casser. To accompany, give a lift, go along for the ride, to walk home. Accompagner or raccompagner. To last, to go on. Think duration. Durer. To frequent, go somewhere regularly, hang out with or date. Fréquenter. To pass, to spend time, to call in, go through. Passer. To collapse. This might be the tricky one. Pronominal, we have our pronominal arrow there. S'écrouler, it's like to crumble, to fall down on itself. Collapse. Creuser. J'ai un petit creux, I have a little hollow. It means to dig. Creuser. To count. Compter. What does fabriquer mean? To fabricate, as in to manufacture. It's also used a lot instead of faire in spoken French, which means to make or to do. Quitter. Remember, QU is a K sound, not quitter, but quitter. To leave. Someone or something. Plaisanter, blaguer. To joke. Démarrer. Used a lot for cars. Démarrer. To start up an engine. To ignite, to boot. Démarrer. Embarquer. Okay, you see this for travel, don't you? To board, to set sail, but it's used in spoken French to say to take with you. Mon mari m'a quitté. Il a tout embarqué. My husband left me and he took everything. He embarked it all. Pratiquer. To practice the law, to practice your French. Pratiquer le français. Fêter. To celebrate. Brancher. To plug in. À vous. To manufacture, to make, to do, to fabricate. Fabriquer. To leave, someone or something. Quitter. To joke. Plaisanter, blaguer. To start up an engine, ignite or boot. Démarrer. To board, set sail, take everything with you. Embarquer. To practice law or practice your French. Pratiquer. To celebrate. It's fiesta time. Fêter. To plug in. Brancher. What does regarder mean? To watch, to look at. Ajouter or rajouter. You see it in recipes. To add. Rajouter means to add more. Déposer. To deposit. It's used a lot for to drop off. We have a taxi here, déposer. And then more legal speak, to file, like to file a report. Déposer, like a deposition. Garer. What do you use a garage for? To park your car. And you park your train in la gare. Bricoler. Someone who likes to tinker with bricks, because it means to tinker, to fiddle, to do DIY. We have Monsieur Bricolage, the DIY shop in France. Travailler. The slang used a lot in spoken French is bosser. To work. Enseigner. Enseigner à. To teach. À vous. To watch, to look at. Regarder. To add or to add more. Ajouter or add more. Rajouter. As an expression, it might be, don't you chime in. N'en rajoute pas toi. To deposit, to drop off, to file, to make a deposition. Déposer. To park. Garer. To tinker, fiddle, do DIY. You have your brick there to help you remember. Bricoler. And coller means to stick, doesn't it? That's where we get collage from. Bricoler. You like to mess about. To work. Travailler. And the slang, which is used a lot, bosser. To teach. Enseigner. Enseigner à quelqu'un. To teach to somebody. Okay, let's now put all these ER verbs into the imperfect in context. She used to spend all her money as soon as she was paid. Elle dépensait tout son argent dès qu'elle était payée. The fancy word for as soon as was aussitôt qu'elle était payée. He would always forget my first name. Il oubliait toujours mon prénom. It didn't prevent me from thinking about you. When your it is abstract or that is abstract, we use ça, which is short for cela. Ça ne m'empêchait pas de penser à toi. So penser is a bit of a cheeky verb, because penser à is either to remember or to think about something or someone in your mind, but penser de is to have an opinion of. We avoided them at all costs. Nous les évitions à tout prix. Here you could actually use the perfect. Nous les avons évités à tout prix. Depends on the atmosphere you want to create. A splat in the past or more of a meandering line. And of course you can use on, which is used more in spoken French for we. On les évitait à tout prix. On les a évités à tout prix. They never used to close. Ils ne fermaient jamais, elles ne fermaient jamais. My mum would spoil them. Ma mère les gâtait. To dare? Come on if you dare, says the Aussie kangaroo with his boxing gloves on. Oser. I didn't dare open my eyes. Je n'osais pas ouvrir les yeux. So again here, you could use the perfect tense as well. Je n'ai pas osé ouvrir les yeux. Depends on what atmosphere is being created. To talk behind someone's back is casser le sucre sur le dos à quelqu'un. To break the sugar on the back of somebody. He used to talk behind her back all the time. Here you've got à quelqu'un. It's going to be a lui situation. Il lui cassait le sucre sur le dos tout le temps. Most French people won't say tout le temps, they'll say tout le temps, tout le temps. A word or two on would, which is an English problem. The would we are using here is the kind that can be replaced with used to. When I were a lad, I used to, I would. In English, there is another would, the conditional would. I would if I could, would. Or I would do this or that, and the other if. It's conditional. It's based on a condition. The conditional, the would, the should, the could, uses conditional in French. To create the conditional in French, we need conditional, where you use the whole verb, not a stem, the whole verb, the infinitive, but you add on exactly the same endings as we have for the imperfect. The AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. Still two words in French. So I would or I used to like, which is in the past. J'aimais, you've got the nous stem plus your ending, plus your imperfect ending. But I would like, in the future I would like, we use the infinitive, j'aimais plus the ending. J'aimerais, not j'aimerais. You don't need to exaggerate the aimer. It's pronounced j'aimerais. So we've got j'aimais, the imperfect, j'aimerais. J'aimais, j'aimerais. J'aimais, j'aimerais. He would watch in the past. Il regardait le foot tous les samedis. We use the nous stem for the imperfect. He would watch the conditional in the future. Il regarderait le foot s'il avait le temps. He would watch the football. We use this would auxiliary. There's no auxiliary in French. It's all in the ending. Il regarderait le foot s'il avait le temps, if he had time. So, imperfect, il regardait. Conditional, il regarderait. Regarder, regarderait. The conditional is all about the are. J'aimerais, je regarderais. To accompany, give a lift to, go along for the ride, walk home. Accompagner, often raccompagner is used. He never used to walk me home. Il ne me raccompagnait jamais chez moi. So if it's somewhere you go to regularly, you'd use raccompagner, going back to somewhere. But if it's somewhere you're going to for the first time, you're more likely to use accompagner. It used to last around an hour. Okay, we've got our abstract slime here, the ça. Ça durait à peu près ou environ une heure. À peu près is used a lot in spoken French rather than environ. I know Julien was dating her at the time. Je sais que Julien l'a fréquentée à l'époque. They used to spend their days on the beach. Ils ou elles passaient leurs jours sur la plage. To collapse on oneself. S'écrouler, crumble, et s'écrouler. To dig. J'ai un petit creux, creuser. They were digging a hole when the building collapsed. Il ou elle creusait un trou quand le bâtiment s'est écroulé. Pronominal verbs use être as their auxiliary. I was counting on you, addressing to. Je comptais sur toi, to manufacture, or in spoken French, to make or to do. Fabriquer. What were you doing, addressing to? Qu'est-ce que tu fabriquais? So you could say qu'est-ce que tu faisais, but in spoken French, fabriquer, often used. I used to leave the house at 5 a.m. on the weekdays. Je quittais la maison à 5 heures du matin les jours de la semaine. I wasn't joking. Je ne plaisantais pas, Je ne blaguais pas, but plaisanter is probably used more in this kind of sentence. To start up, ignite. To boot. Démarrer. My old 2CV never used to start in the winter. 2CV stands for 2 horses. 2 horsepower. Ma vieille 2 chevaux ne démarrait jamais en hiver. 2 chevaux. Sometimes shortened to dush, ma vieille dush. To board, to set sail, to take with you. Embarquer. He was boarding for London. Il embarquait pour Londres. I used to practice French 20 minutes a day. They say per day. Je pratiquais le français 20 minutes par jour. If in French, si. Et si on allait au cinéma ce soir? What do you think it means? How about we go to the cinema this evening? Okay, how about the French say, and if? Et si? How about we go to the beach this afternoon using on? Et si on allait à la plage cet après-midi? Cet après-midi, often shortened to cet après-midi in spoken French. Et si elle fêtait son anniversaire samedi au lieu de dimanche? What about if she celebrated her birthday on Saturday instead of Sunday? What about if we plugged it in over there, where your it is masculine, and we're going to use on for we? Et si on le branchait là-bas? Okay, so how about, or what if, in French will be et si plus the imperfect in French. Et si? Blah, 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 imperfect. To add or to add more. Ajouter, to add more. Rajouter. What if we added a bit more sugar using on? Et si on ajoutait un peu plus de sucre? Oh, you could get rid of the plus and just say, et si on rajoutait un peu de sucre? To drop off, set down, file, deposit. Déposer. How about if I drop you off at the station using tu? Et si je te déposais à la gare? How about if you drop me off at the station? Still addressing tu. Et si tu me déposais à la gare? How about if we park the car here? We're using nous. Et si nous garions la voiture ici ou là? So ici is here, but the French will often use là, which actually means there, for here. Strange but true. So how about, or what if, in French you need to use et si plus the imperfect. To tinker, fiddle, do DIY. We have our brick. Think of collage. Bricoler. He used to tinker for hours. Il bricolait pendant des heures. To work. Travailler, or spoken French often use the slang which is bosser. Using nous, we used to work together in 1976. They would say 1976. Nous travaillions, nous bossions ensemble en 1976. To teach. Enseigner, enseigner à quelqu'un. She taught French to them for years. To them. Elle leur enseignait le français pendant des années. You could use the perfect here. Elle leur a enseigné le français pendant des années. D'accord. The following ER verbs are for your homework. You need to know these to do the audio homework that I will send you. Louer, what does it mean? To rent. Louer, louer une maison, louer une voiture, louer une bicyclette. Filer. Okay, and fil is a thread. So it means to go, but in a hasty manner. It can also mean to give, like he gave me. Il m'a filé un sandwich. He gave me a sandwich very quickly. Abîmer. Okay, this is Abby, and she is damaging her ears by listening to music too loudly with her headphones. Abîmer, to damage. Verrouiller. Verrouiller means to lock with a lock and a bolt. When you lock the door, they tend to say fermer à clé. Fermer à clé, but verrouiller's got the actual lock on. Râler. I think this one sounds like what it is. It's onomatopoeic. To whinge, to moan, to complain. Arrête de râler. Baisser, baisser. To lower. She's doing the limbo. How low can you go? Baisser. Remonter. So it can mean to wind up, like to wind up a clock or a watch, or to turn up the volume, remonter, or to date back. Ça remonte à 1976. It goes back to 1976. Ignorer. GN is a ñ sound. Ignorer. Of course, it means to ignore, but also to be ignorant of, and it's used sometimes instead of I don't know, j'ignore. Okay, how do you say to rent? Louer, louer, louer. So if a house is for rent, you'll say à louer. To dash, to go, to give very quickly. Filer. Allez, file. Go on, off you go. Whoop. To damage. What's this girl's name? She's wearing her headphones, got the music on too loud. Abîmer. So abîmer. To lock, to bolt. Verrouiller. To whinge, to moan, to complain. Râler. To lower. Baisser. To wind up, as in to wind up a watch. To turn up, like turn up the volume or date back to 1976. Remonter. To not know, be ignorant of, ignore. Ignorer. Vider, what does it mean? To empty. Couler. Couler means to run, like water running from a tap, means to flow. Like a boat sinking, to sink, to leak, to drip. Couler. Reprocher à. Well, it looks like reproach, and it does mean reproach, but in spoken English we're more likely to say to blame. Reprocher à quelqu'un. Rouler. Like a roulade. To roll, but it's used instead of conduire a lot. Rouler. Traîner. It's a funny one, this. Doesn't mean to train. It means to trail. I suppose we have a train that we wear like a veil. To trail, to lag, to drag, to traipse. It also means to hang around, like, qu'est-ce que tu fais à traîner ici? What are you doing hanging around here? Saluer. Okay. Does mean to salute, to greet. Plaisanter, blaguer, we've had this one. To joke. Cacher. To hide. À vous, to empty. Vider. To run, as in running water from the tap. To flow, to sink like a sinking boat. To leak or to drip. Couler. To reproach, to blame. Reprocher. To roll, to drive. rouler. To trail, lag, drag, traipse, hang around. Traîner. To greet. Saluer, like salute. To joke. Plaisanter, blaguer. And finally, to hide. Cacher. Et voilà, les amis. Merci beaucoup. À la prochaine fois.